Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
Oh, Lord. Again. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old shit.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man. Yeah, boy.
Oh yeah, Vey, what's going on, Mr. Bike? I guess it's the wintertime blues happening. Gotta choke it out and let it run for a little bit to warm that old Evo engine up. That's one of the things about the Evo engines, you do have to warm them up. But it's something that's been happening in the last 30 days or so. And I left the house and headed over to the event venue that I'll be talking about on this episode. And it's only, 3 miles or so. So I don't know, really didn't have a big warm-up process this morning. Pretty much parked it probably while the engine was still cold. What's up, brother? On your metric cruiser and short pants and no helmet and all that good stuff. But to each his own. Ride your own ride, brother. But I am testing out the ride route that I'll be doing in a few weeks on December 8th. And I'm timing myself to make sure it is as long as advertised. I've definitely seen it because I've taken this route several times just in my normal travels, and does offer some picturesque opportunities and all different types of traversing through neighborhoods and highways and country rural roads, all that kind of good stuff. And elegant heights. Oh, just hear that Evo lope. It's like a gallop of horses. Yeehaw! This is my first ride opportunity that I've had since I went down on my Sportster back in the last week of October at the Forgottten Angels Campout 8.
Who's laughing now?
But yeah, it took a little spill at the end of the weekend there, and just grabbed a handful of brake, coming to a stop sign at low speed, turned the wheel, and basically went down. That's what happens. Rookie move, rookie mistake, acknowledged. It may happen again. That's the way it is. But you got to be careful. It's funny, I've never, knock on some wood, I don't have any wood on the bike, but knock on some chrome. Outside of running this off-road in some sugar sand, at low speed, I've never dropped this bike, and that wasn't really a drop. I caught it, so it doesn't count, didn't touch the ground. But this bike is so low to the ground, and I don't know, it's just when I ride my Softail, it's a totally different riding experience than on my Sportster. Honestly, this is more of a beginner bike than that Sportster could ever be, and it blows me away. For years they would recommend the Iron 83 as Harley's beginner bike, when these Softails are lower to the ground, and I don't know, they're just a lot easier for me to maneuver in comparison to the Sportster. But I got range of motion pretty much back. I have a little bit of soreness still, and that's going to happen. But the whole Forgottten Angels experience got me thinking about the limited amount of effort that I give in my life towards charities and helping others. A long time ago, when I was a young man, I read a book by an author named Zig Ziglar. I'll never forget his name. It's got 2 Z's in it. How common is that? Not very common. And the book was called See Ya at the Top. It was a motivational book. And at the time I was reading, I was a very young man, and I was looking for direction in my life on how to get my career started. And I was reading some motivational books. He had a phrase in that book that struck a chord with me and stuck with me, but over the years I've really not lived by it. But the saying goes, you can get everything that you want out of life if you just help enough other people get what they want. I'm going to let that one sink in for a second. So think about it. If you can help others get what they want, ultimately you will get what you want out of life. And that phrase, it's like if you serve and help others, the good karma will come back around and help you out. How many times have you done something and lived kind of a righteous life, a good life, and everything's balanced, and it's just good thing after good thing after good thing is happening? It's like you're building up that good karma. Now, of course, we all have those times where the stuff hits the fan and things happen, especially if you take your eye off the wheel a little bit. Maybe put your trust into others and they disappoint you. You're not really veering off the path, but others have kind of pushed you off the path a little bit. And that's what I think's happened in my life. I feel like I have a good heart. I don't have a lot of resources, but I do have some talents, I think, that could be beneficial to help others, achieve what they want to achieve, what they need to achieve, or to help and to serve. And that's something that the Forgottten Angels Campout, just every time I attend, it just reiterates. And I learn something and adapt something new in my life just by being around the event and hearing the stories of what Dave and Cindy are accomplishing through Forgottten Angels. And I look at myself and I'm like, what are you doing? Hey. But I can handle a little bit more on my plate, on my free time, away from work, to help others. We get 24 hours in the day, 7 days a week, and I just feel that in the past, few years since I've discovered motorcycles, it's been about my journey and my discovery and my learning needs, and I've been focused on that. But in our motorcycle community, there's so much good that goes on that I've been privy to. Different benefit poker runs, different fundraising events. And we're pulling into the big time of year where a lot of these events happen, at least in my area, because of the cooler weather. The benefit rides are a little bit more plentiful. You don't see these rides in the middle of summer because it's so dang hot. And yeah, not rocking a windshield. I'm gonna probably not run the windshield again unless I have to for a longer trip or if it's just bitter cold out. I'm really enjoying going without the windshield. Still, I haven't had it on since May, maybe April. It's been a while. Need that fresh air, that wind in the face, knees in the breeze. During the Forgottten Angels event, Dave was up on the podium and he was talking about, how we're all individuals, we all have talents, and we all can do something to help others. So I'm thinking, what talents do I have that would help others?
You serious?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
And I can do something like right now. And I thought, well, I like motorcycles. I love motorcycles. Having a great time. I've met a few people. I've gained some business relationships, I guess, if you want to call it, with some sponsors as I progress in my YouTube journey. Let me see if I can put something together with who I know to help benefit a charity. And one of the charities that I'm closely connected to just by a friend group is Dolly's USO benefit. Happens every year in December, and it's been primarily an event where all these bands get together and play music all day into the night. And they have raffles, people donate items, and they raffle them off, and there's sponsorships that are available for businesses to sponsor, and it's all run by volunteers, and all the volunteers are within the music industry, the local music scene. So you got lighting guys, you have sound engineers, musicians, obviously. So you're able to put together kind of a mini festival within a day situation, fairly organized and efficient, because that's what they do. And they do it to raise money for the USO, the United Services Organization, which is an organization that supports our troops. It supports the service members and also their families. And a lot of times the service members, especially if you're enlisted and you're a young service member, your family is typically not with you. They're back at home. Or if they are with you, you're not with them. And things happen. Like you might have a baby, and that young family doesn't have resources for helping with that baby. The USO steps in, provides formula, provides diapers, can provide a little baby shower, and help give the care that family needs. Psychological support services are available at the USO. They have 240 offices around the world to cover different deployed areas, which is pretty cool. And it's an organization that doesn't receive, it's not a government organization. VROD, baby, VROD. That big retire. They're not a government organization, so they don't have government funding, and they rely totally on donations. So Dolly's been raising funds for the USO for the last 13 years. So I approached Dolly and I said, what if I add a motorcycle ride, a benefit ride to this event in the morning? Right? Some of these musicians ride, and wouldn't that be another opportunity where you can perhaps raise some additional funds that you otherwise would not have raised through motorcycles? Motorcycles. And she thought that was a fantastic idea. And I said, let me organize it. I know I don't know what I'm doing, because I haven't organized a ride or anything like that, a benefit. But if you could help me out with some questions that I have on how we can get the money to you, I think I can help out. And so we set up a way to transfer funds in electronically through their nonprofit account at the USO. Got the tax ID information for the USO, so sponsors can get a tax deduction for their raffle item or their monetary donation that they might provide. And I'm like, okay, I can make this happen. I can do this. Hey folks, Kenny Quest here from the Kenny Quest Show on YouTube. I'd like to personally invite you to join me right here at the Historic Bar Room on December 8th for a ride to support the USO in cooperation with Dolly's 13th Annual Musicians Reunion Benefit for the USO. This is going to be an event like no other, benefiting the United Services Organization. Decorate your bike in red, white, and blue. Fly an American flag to demonstrate your patriotism. All bikes welcome. Registration begins at 10 a.m. with complimentary breakfast served courtesy of JMP Cycles. We'll cruise for a scenic loop around Wekiva Springs via Mount Plymouth through 3 counties and return to Historic Bar Room for the main event, where you and your family will be entertained all day and night by Central Florida's greatest rock and roll bands. We'll have food trucks, raffles, and drink specials. I hope to see you there at the Historic Bar Room in downtown Longwood on December 8th. The ride registration donation is $10. It also gets you access into Dolly's Musician Reunion. Be there for the men and women who serve the greatest country on earth. God bless America. So right now I'm on the ride that we're going to be doing. I'm doing the route. I'm timing the route right now to make sure it's within what I commit that it's going to be. And the idea is that the ride happens prior to the event starting before the first band takes the stage. So the goal is to get back by 12:15. The event starts at 12 with a color guard presentation by the United States Marine Corps. We'll miss that, but we'll show up in time for the first band just getting started. And the cool thing is, if you're on the ride, you get admittance into the Musicians Reunion event benefit for the USO. So it's like a 2-for-1. Let me show you this venue that we're going to have this event at. It's really cool. So we're at the historic bar in downtown Longwood. This is where the event's going to be held. We're just underneath the water tower in Longwood. That water tower says Longwood on it, on the corner of Church and Ronald Reagan, right off of 434, a couple miles from I-4. Really convenient to get to from all parts of Central Florida. And there's going to be 14 bands that are going to be playing on this stage, an inside stage, and then an acoustic setup inside the cigar bar. And we're going to have banners up here for different sponsors that are going to participate with this event. And we're going to have an outside bar over here. We got a beer tub area. We're going to be serving beer. And there's lots of seating, lots of tables. We're going to have 3 different food trucks. This one plus 2 additional food trucks. We're trying to spread out the different types of food. This one's like a taco truck. We're going to have some burgers and fries and another truck yet to be determined. I mean, it's all been determined. I just don't know what it is. There's a committee that's organizing the day event, which is going to run from approximately 12 noon all the way till 12 midnight. And that's going to be the Dolly's USO benefit with Musicians Reunion with 14 local bands representing the Central Florida area. And there'll be some that are going to play on this stage back here. And we're going to have this whole area professionally rigged for lighting. There'll be scaffold and stage lighting, just like a regular, normal rock concert that you'd come to expect. We have a lot of professional musicians, stage personnel, lighting designers that are involved with this show. So it's not some kind of rinky-dink, backyard show. It's been going on 13 years. I don't know why they allowed me to get my sticky hands involved in this, but they limited it to just the ride. So I think I can handle that with my friends Pedro, my new friend Hollywood, and we can make this ride happen.
All right, so here's the important details about the ride. Ride registration and breakfast is at 10 o'clock. The breakfast is complimentary with every registration. Registration is $10 for the ride, and that same $10 will get you into the Musicians Reunion event that runs from 12 noon to 12 midnight.
And those riders who bring a uncovered toy for Toys for Tots, because we're also running a Toys for Tots run and collection station here at the event. Those who bring a unwrapped toy for the kids will be entered into a raffle, and right before the ride we're going to pull that lucky winner. So we're going to meet here at the historic bar room, and we're going to park out front, and that whole area out front is going to be left open that morning for motorcycles, and that's where we're going to take off from.
Kickstands up is going to be at 11:15, and we're going to go on that ride.
We're going to cover some nice terrain, have some opportunities for some straights, for some speed, and then go up to Mount Plymouth, hit some twisties, and just basically go around some lakes and have a nice little chill ride. I encourage everybody to wear red, white, and blue, or bring some flags, zip tie them to your sissy bar, and we can demonstrate our patriotism and the support of the servicemen that the USO provides benefits and support for all around the world.
If you go to the USO.org website, you'll see all the different things that they do to help benefit service members and their families. It's really, really a cool organization. It's been around since 1941, but it has no connection to the government, doesn't rely on government funding. It relies solely on donations, from small benefits like this one to much larger benefits. It's really, really a cool organization that directly benefits those who are deployed and their families, and that's why I'm behind it. Honored to be a part of it. Just recently we had Hurricane Milton, and we had young military families that were tragically hit and affected by Milton. The USO stepped in. The service members that were deployed overseas were not disrupted. They didn't have to come back home. The USO stepped in, provided those families with communication devices, with water, with just the basics that they could sustain, and to help get through that tragedy. And it's still ongoing today. those residences in the areas affected by Milton are still suffering the consequences. And the USO is right there right now to help out. So if you'd like to help the USO and support our troops, but you can't make it to the event or it's too far away, no problem. I have a way that you can help and support this event, this ride that we're putting together for the USO. And it's in the means of a QR code. I'm going to throw the QR code up on the screen and just take a screenshot of that. And that will bring you to a link where you can electronically contribute to the event. Anything would help, $5, $10, 20, whatever you want to do. There's no, minimum donation. Anything will help, and it would show that, my Kenny Quest fam out there is supporting my activities and beneficial for not only my community but worldwide. And that's going to do it for this week's episode. I really appreciate you guys watching. Listen to me talk about this great USO benefit and this ride that I'm going to be doing. Wish me luck. And if you like this video, I'm sure you're going to like this one right here and this one right here that YouTube is picking for you based on your past viewing experience on my channel. Isn't that great how that algorithm works? All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next time.